Episode of the Everblack podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack podcast.
Hey, human scum, this is odorous from Guam.
Going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corshunner Fisher.
This is Gas from Devil Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Magnificent Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Bleak from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack Podcast.
It's Saturday, yes. How about you, man?
Yeah, just chilling here in sunny California, waiting to hit the road here. We got a great new record, Hellbound, dropping June 25th, and the first show of the tour in the States is June 1st, so we're fired up.
Man, so close. It's so close, hey? Like, you feeling it? Man, how's the prep going for it? I mean, being that, you know, everything that's going on, you know, has there been a lot to sort of maneuver, I guess?
Yeah, it's been, crazy year and a half for sure. As you know, the whole world's going through it, but we've done a handful of shows already this year, and we did a few shows last year as well. So, we just follow the safety protocol and go rock.
That's awesome, man. Well, of course, I mean, as you mentioned before, new album Hellbound, June 25. This thing is awesome. I love it. I was driving around, cranking it in the car. It's a fuck ton of fun. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's I really think it's up there with the best Buckcherry record as far as I'm concerned. I just we worked really hard on it. We're really grateful. We've been sitting on it since October 2020. So
wow,
it's nice for it to finally be coming out.
Well, I mean, thing I like about it, it reminds me of those like a dirty dive bar, sleazy riffs and, hard drinking tunes. And, it seems like that's something that's missing right now. It's something we need right now,
I agree. And I think that's why the first single, So Hot, is doing really well. We've gotten such a great response from it. We got a great video for it on YouTube. If any of your listeners haven't checked that out, they should go check it out. So Hot. And then we're going to drop the title track, Hellbound. We got a great video for that too. We're going to drop that later this month.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. But the opening track's a real banger too.
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We were going through a lot last year in the States. It was not only COVID, it was like we had a horrible political situation going on. Then we had the gun violence and racism, and so it was nuts. And kind of when I got that music from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I was like, I just kind of wrote about all the angst and anger and stuff that was building up inside all of us. The tension was incredible. So it was good to have that outlet of that song,
That the chorus of it is that pattern, that vocal pattern, that sort of little repeating little pattern is awesome. It's so catchy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Man. Yeah. I don't know, man. I've just had a really good time with this album this week. Like, I feel like I'm spoiling things. I'm pretty lucky to hear it, but it's the cover art is awesome too. It's almost like a metal cover, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. That happened. There's this great tattoo artist I know. His name is Mark Ledig, and he tattoos out of a place called Zen Tattoo in Salt Lake City, Utah. And he actually played bass on the first Josh Todd record way back in the day. And I would always see him drawing, when he was on tour with me. And I was like, man, you're like really good. You should look into tattooing, And at that point, he did dabbled in some apprenticing, but he never got through it. And then he went back and finished it. And now he's doing like bodysuits and sleeves and like just incredible pieces. And so I've been in touch with him all these years. And I said, Mark, we got this record and we want to call it Hellbound. You got anything you could send us? We want something that's really kind of iconic, nice, cool image, you know, and you're the guy for that. And he came back with that bird, and we were like, that's so dope. It's so dope. It's perfect. Everybody saw it, our whole team, and we were just like, that's it.
It's simple. It's not, you know, but it's so powerful. Like I think it's gonna. It looks. I mean, I know you got the shirts coming out, but I love that it's gonna be on shirts. It's so cool. Like it's
it just kind of sums up everything in
man.
one image, and that's what we wanted.
Have you got any tattoos from him? Has he tattooed you?
He has, yeah. He tattooed my left thigh. He tattooed my kneecap. Or no, he designed a skull, and I got it tattooed on my kneecap. This is before he was tattooing. And then when he got his shop and he was finally tattooing, he tattooed this piece, this big dog head on my left thigh with like a Chinese star stuck in his head.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, have you, I mean, talking about tattoos, you've traveled the world, but do you collect tattoos on your travels? You know, I know dudes in bands that, you know, it's kind of like getting their passport stamped, but they're
some body. Guys do. I'm too paranoid about, you know, I got to really know the person. It's pretty personal to me, you know, like Kevin Quinn has tattooed the majority of my body, and, you know, he and I are tight, and, you know, so I feel connected to him and I trust him, and I know he takes care of his equipment safety wise, you know, and same with Mark, you know. So no, I don't do a lot of that because I don't know what they're doing, you know, like even though I'm sure all these guys are taking care of their stuff, you know, I just don't personally want to get tattooed by a lot of different guys.
It's a good way of doing it. That's a good way of doing it. You know what, man? I was talking to Alice Cooper the other week about this, that there seems to be only a few bands like AC/DC and a few other ones and yourselves that have got that dirty rock edge. And it seems that, I don't know, man, but hip hop seems to have taken that sort of sleazy rock sort of vibe.
Absolutely.
And doing it. And where rock and metal seems to be more political or a bit more serious. Do you think that's something that's a lost art? What's happening?
I'm so glad you've said that, because like, I don't want to be down on like new rock bands or where rock is at, you know, but like, if you look at like the whole decade starting in 2000, it's just faceless. There's no, like, for the most part, it just all runs together. All these I'm not talking about metal and all that stuff. I'm just talking about like rock bands, you know. It started like having this like sound that was like one song just ran into another, and there was no dynamics. There was no like frontmen. There was no rock stars. It was just like, it was weird, and it's still weird, you know. And I don't understand that, you know, like in the 90s, we had, just think of how many different amazing frontmen we had. We had Zach De La Roca, Jonathan Davis. We had like Eddie Vedder and Kurt Cobain, and, you know, the list goes on. Lane Staley and Chris Cornell. I mean, these were all like incredible rock and roll frontmen, and then just nothing, you know. It's so weird. So I don't know what that is. And it's not reckless or dangerous, and that's why I listen to a lot of hip hop personally, because it's dangerous, man, and I love it. You know, it's like they have their own language sometimes, and like just the way they craft their songs. It's just, I'm really interested in it, and I love it. You know, and I feel like I felt when I was a kid listening to like, you know, punk rock records or NWA or like those type of records, you know. It's just dangerous, you know, and like there's nothing dangerous about rock, you know. So new rock for me, you know, so that's why I go there.
It is weird. I've been thinking about it a lot. If you couldn't tell, I mean, I'm probably going to get all the shit comments down, you know, that, oh, you know, rock's not dead. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is,
I'm not saying that either.
No.
Yeah.
The sexy time has been taken out of it. You know, that edge, that darkness, and I think that, I don't know, man. Like maybe it's my age, but you put on an AC/DC record, the beers come out, the clothes come off, That's
It's
probably why I keep
amazing.
getting a
Okay, you
you
know
know.
why? You know why? Because AC/DC's got soul. You know, they got soul. You can dance to it, you can rock to it. It's like they got the guys, they got the girls, and that's what you want. And that's what I wanted in my rock band when I was a kid. I wanted like a front man that was masculine enough that I could get into him, but sexy enough that a girl could get into him. So I go to the rock show and there's girls, you know, and there's guys, and everybody's dancing, and you know, and that's what I've always wanted Buckcherry to be, and because of that, the records had a lot of dynamics too. You know, there were ballads, there were mid-tempo songs, there were rockers, that you know, and that's what Hellbound is. You know, it's got a wide variety of songs, and it's cohesive, and it all works. You know, and it's going to be a fun tour for sure.
Oh, dude, it's going to be. I wish I could be there. Hey, you know, like I wish I could get on it. I saw one festival over there. It seems like it's starting to really happen again, which is going to be incredible.
You got to get your ass vaccinated and just get on the plane. They won't even let you out, right?
No, no way. We're not too bad here. I mean, we're doing shows and stuff too.
No, you guys have really handled it well. You guys have really handled it well. But now you got to take some risks and get some people coming from other places to rock.
That's it, man. That's it. I keep seeing stuff pop up, and I'm like, man, what have I got to do? I've got to put myself in a suitcase and mail myself.
I mean,
you
should just say, you can all, band and crew, you can come in here, but you just got to show a vaccination card. I mean, that's what it should be. And then we show you the vaccination cards for each individual, and we go rock. You know, that's absolutely that seems like the solution.
I back you on that one, 100%. But you know, when you guys talking about before, like frontman and things like that in the 90s. I mean, when you guys really jumped on the scene, it was right at that in the late 90s where the world seemed to be obsessed with baggy pants and dreadlocks, and the new metal thing was such a big thing, and you guys just seemed to cut straight through that and made it, you know what I mean? Like, because that was how was that? Was that something that was
it was like a, you know, a lot of rap rock. The rap rock movement was huge at that time. Our first record was 1999, and then there was all the nerd rock going on, like the Weezer type shoegazing, you know, nerd rock. And then here we come out, and everybody's like, what is this? And it's like, what are you talking about? We're just playing rock and roll. That's it. That's all it is, you know. But it's like, because there hadn't been a lot of that, you know, we cut through, and you know what? We've been kind of the black sheep of rock and roll for our whole career. 22 years. We've never been part of the mainstream rock. It's so bizarre, you know? It's so bizarre that we've had 9 records, and, you know, we're just, you know, kind of just having this really big career and not being like a part of the mainstream. There's really like one rock band that represents rock, right? The Foo Fighters you see on like major television shows or like Grammy stuff or like anything like that. It's one band. It's insane. It's crazy, you know? So, I mean, here's so many other bands having these long careers, you know, which is cool, but it's just bizarre.
Yeah. And it's awesome that, you know, you've survived all the different changes. There was the hardcore thing that came in, but you guys have really stuck to your guns and had such an incredible career, because I believe it's that true rock and roll is the heart of it and the honesty of it. Like we were talking about bands like AC/DC and stuff before. People love that shit. They love it, and it's never going to go away. But it's not so much mainstream. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's still massive.
Yeah, and you know that's a great example. I mean, they've been making they consistently make great records. You know, I just love them. I love them how they just use the same formula and keep you completely locked in, you know, like it blows me away, especially, you know, I love it because they always release records, and that's what we do. We're always putting out records, you know, and I feel that when you just don't write music for years and years and years, and then you put a record together, it's hard to write a great record because you haven't been working that muscle, you know. And sometimes I think bands lose like sight of who they are, you know, and they only play like a handful of songs from like a few records, and they're fine with that. And that's just not us. I want to continue to work and grow and remain teachable and keep putting out records, and because it's challenging and fun,
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. You got to keep it fresh, because if you, as you said, if you don't flex that muscle, I find a lot of filmmakers do that as well. Like, they don't do stuff for a long time and they try and reboot their franchise, Star Wars, and then you just go, and it's like, what the hell happened, man? It's like the Krusty the Clown meme where he's like, what the hell was that? It's that all over it. But
yeah, because things change so rapidly, and
got to keep.
If you're not in touch and you're not working on it, it's things can change quickly.
That's exactly right. But in regards to AC/DC and bands like that, I don't know why I keep bringing them up. Maybe I'm just on a kick of it at the moment and listening to you guys. But I hear a bit of an Australian influence in there. Of course, there's them. And would you say other bands, any other Australian bands that?
Oh, we listen to all kinds of stuff. Like Stevie and I've known Stevie since I was 19, and we like the same stuff. We love like funk and Prince and like R&B stuff. I mean, we like a lot of stuff, and we used to go out dancing, when we were younger. We would back in that time in Hollywood, like, you could go to a club and they would be playing like funk and rock, and you could dance to it. We would go out dancing, and that was like something we did when we weren't like, we in our, on stage performing or whatever. And so I don't know, it's just everything has shaped me as a musician. All the songs, all the songs my parents listened to. I mean, all the records. I used to sneak in my sister's room and listen to all her records, and then I had my own stuff going on. I listened to really kind of aggressive independent records when I was a adolescent, and like, it all kind of shaped me to just have this flavor of what I bring to the table in regards to Buckcherry.
That's awesome. And that's the way to do it. You got to have all those, vast influences. You got to draw from all those cats. But yeah, I mean, you've toured Australia. It wasn't that long ago either, was it? That was with
No, we toured on a Warpaint record, and
that's right.
2019.
That's right. Man, everything's sort of jumbled into one, isn't it? But man, how's it touring Australia been for all the way over there? And you've got that love down here, you've got to.
It's amazing. It is really exhausting for us because you guys don't let us sleep in buses over there. So we have to fly everywhere. So like, we'll do a show and we'll be up. We won't get to bed till like, 2 or 3 in the morning. And then we have to get up at 8 a.m. to go catch a flight and then do a show that night, So it was a crazy schedule, but man, the shows were incredible. It's like Animal House every time we go on stage, It's like, you guys like to party and you love your rock and roll, and that's why we're really looking forward to getting back there.
Mate, is there plans on this run? I know it's hard to tell, but I mean,
yeah, it's really up to you guys, and we would already book something, but we have to wait till you guys let us in first of all, and then we have to route it in a way to where we attach Japan to it, and then head over to Europe so that it all works together.
Oh, mate, that's awesome. Yeah, I would really love to see you guys again. But in terms of other plans you got for the year ahead and touring and stuff, like what do you guys got cooking up? You got anything on the back? Any?
Well,
news?
right now we got 105 shows booked in the United States starting June 1st, and that'll keep us busy towards till the end of the year, like November-ish, and then we're supposed to hopefully come your way, at that point in time. Hopefully you guys will be ready for us then, but I mean, I know this thing is a bit unpredictable, so we'll see, but I think you guys have been through the worst of it. We've been through the worst of it, so hopefully, that'll work out.
Did you say 105?
105, yeah.
Dude. How do you even prepare for that as a front man? I know you've been doing it for years, but that's a really big run. I mean, in our little island in the arse end of the world, we don't get to play that many shows. That's a lot, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not a lot for us. We averaged close to 200, over 200 shows a year for a long time, so we're used to playing a lot. And, you know, as far as like getting in shape, I mean, there's a lot of things I do to prepare myself because it's physically demanding, you know, but you know, you got to first be super passionate about what you're doing, and we are. So that comes first and foremost. And then I really practice a lot, you know. Since the pandemic, I do a headlining Buckcherry set here in my house every other day.
That's right.
So, you know, I don't like sit around and not sing. If I did that, it would be a disaster to try to get back to getting to the level of headlining Buckcherry show. So I just stay fit all the time vocally. I'm always working that muscle.
You sound incredible, dude. Even not like, you know, there's dudes that have been doing it for a long time that they burn their voice out, but you still sound like on fire, man. So
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That means a lot because, you know, I just turned 50 in 2020. So, you know, to hear
you
you
don't
say
look
that
it.
is nice because I have to, you know, I got to sing all those songs when I was in my 20s and I was bulletproof, you know. So it's pretty challenging these days. So it's nice to hear you say that.
Man, you don't look 50. How's that? No fucking
Thank
way
you.
you look 50. You look like you're like my age. And I'm like, maybe even younger. I don't do so like I'm the old man now. But mate, it's been awesome hanging out with you. The new album Hellbound is out very, very soon, and everyone should go get it, especially that vinyl, that smoke vinyl. Incredible.
Yeah.
That's the one you want.
Yeah.
That's the one you want.
Lots of different colors of vinyl. Yeah. So
mate,
check that out.
so good. Dude, take care
Excellent.
and enjoy the rest of the afternoon or morning.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Let's do it.